哎呀，
影咗又死咗嘅。等一陣啦，呢次頻密咗啲㗎。
誒嚟啦！
嚟！哦，係啦。
呢個 Old Faithful 噴 hot spring 出嚟啦，噴熱水嚟啦！哇嚟啦！
嚟啦！
醞
呢次密
釀緊。
咗好多，應該係。
哇嚟啦！
我都睇下真嗰個先好啲喎。我一路睇住個鏡頭。
你使乜睇住個鏡頭啫？
哇！
揸定隻手啦！哇嚟啦！哇啦！
耶！
高咗啲啊！
堅啊呢個！
喂，我整死咗隻蚊喎！
哇嚟啦！
哇，好高啊！
哇，好犀利啊！嚟啦！哇，而家你6樓咁高啦已經，啊！
喂，就嚟成個鏡頭都影唔晒啦！
好犀利啊！使唔使褪後啲啊你？
未使，都開始褪㗎啦。唉，你唔使咧。哎呦！
我行開俾你行嗰個啦。
No！ 仲有一張。
得唔得㗎？
得啦。
使唔使企咁高啊？
低咗喎。嚇！佢又話150尺嘅。唔係啊嘛？
未咁快嘅，一陣佢少翻呢樣又要多翻嘅。
係咯，明話10分鐘嘅喎，而家2分鐘都冇。邊話整乜阿爸咯？
你話
問你幾分啫喎？我問下你。
佢好似唔知嘅喎。點解爸無啦啦話？
而家2分05秒啫嘛。
因為你話7分鐘唔夠啊嘛。
我哋講乜下可能先。啊！有隻嘢啊！冇事。
企翻落嚟得啦，你使乜企上去啊？
我第一隻蚊啊！
坐翻去都得㗎係嘛？
成個猛人咁啊！而家一路摸一路影住呢嚿嘢。
飛下就得嘅。
哇！好勁！
不過都好犀利啦。
佢隔離嗰個嘢咧都喺度噴下。
咦！有隻嘢飛。
有好多嘢嘅
錄緊你，唔好講咁多粗口啊！係咁噶啦，最高嗰度，加收㗎。I don't think so. You better hurry up and give me some bigger one.
Give us a good show, please.
你睇下。
冇理由喎。
唔係得咁多係嘛？
不過都幾勁㗎啦，頭先。
你睇下佢越嚟越少。
係。
又好似高翻啲咯喎，又低翻啲咯喎，好似冇乜咯喎而家。
噴咁低嘅，而家冇晒力。
係咯，好似冇晒咁，啲人都走啦。
係咯，收工咯喎。
哎呀，冇走字啊，大佬！
喂，又話噴150尺嘅？
係咯。
頭先應該有㗎。
有鬼！我就話冇啦。
我話有。使唔使揾把尺度住佢啊？
我梗係要啦。
你睇下啲人都開始走啦。
係咯。
又冇晒啦。
都係就係咁嘅啫。
Well, I'm kind of disappointed now.
同傳說中爭好遠喎。
係咯。呢啲水係煙嚟㗎。煙嚟㗎啦，冇啦。That's it。拜拜。
咁啊散場㗎啦。
咁唔係點啊？都冇咯。
啲人好似做晒功課咁啊，知道晒㗎喎。噴幾多嗰啲咧？
你睇下啲人個個都走晒啦。
係咯。
山機都咁唔過嚟。
咁啊散啦，我哋都好勁啊呢個。好啦。
Now listen carefully.
哦，落翻去喎，好似個 drain 咁。
Drain's just like a toilet.
Yeah.
All right, we'll head down to these benches.
嗰個又就
又一個呢啲咁嘅 hot spring，又上嚟啦，幾勁！呢間酒店就係 Ophel Inn， 就係我哋住嗰度。
呢個都好出名嘅，我而家冇遇得到。
有人可以住嗰度。
All right. So you can have a seat if you're interested in that, but we're going to talk, like I said, a little bit about it. And we walk right up, but it's going to do it several more times if you want pictures. I'll get out of here. Oh my God, it's so wet.
好過癮啊！你錄緊㗎嘛？佢話仲有幾
If you get any water on glass, like a video camera or a regular camera or glasses, you want to wipe it off right away.
第三次。
哇！啲個人學好晒啲事。
咪要抹啊嘛？
係啊，攞緊㗎。
Yeah, good idea.
For my glass.
Yeah, you want to pass it to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, get them off your glasses too.
Is this a predictable geyser? No. So you didn't know it was going to.
I knew that it might erupt sometime, but I didn't know that it was going to erupt when I said it. That.
You knew it was going to erupt this morning?
Yeah, it erupts about every hour or so.
Okay, there you
But
go.
give or take 15 minutes. Okay. So I couldn't tell you exactly when. But it erupted at 8:05 and it's now 8:54.
So this one does this that many times every hour?
Every time, yeah. And what I love about it is it just kind of does it. There's no precursor. It just...
Whenever it gets ready.
It's surprise, it scares people. I love it.
Well, good.
Yeah, you've torqued great steam engine noise. You can hear the pressure being released. And it erupts for about 5 minutes. Old Faithful, when it erupts, is about 120 feet high. So we have a much taller geyser in Beehive Geyser. But we're standing here in front of Depression Geyser. Depression Geyser, like Anemone, we saw erupting out of that pool of water. Our tallest predictable geyser in the world, Grand Geyser, which is just down around these trees here, is also a fountain geyser. So it doesn't mean it's any smaller. It just means it erupts in a different way. Now, Depression Geyser, when it erupts a couple times a day, about 20 feet high at the most. But it's called Depression Geyser because it's in a depression, not because it's depressing, right? But it is actually interesting because we have seen change related to earthquakes with Depression Geyser. We have about 1,000 to 2,000 earthquakes here a year in Yellowstone. Most of them are very small on the Richter scale. We don't feel them, 1 or 2. We have several, about 6 a year, much quicker, much more frequently after 1959. There's Old
There it
Faithful.
goes.
Turn around and...
唔知喺邊度咧？
係睇到啦，唔使 zoom 咁近。
呢個就係Ophel Geyser。佢話標150尺咁高，噴出嚟。
而家好高啦，差唔多啦。
差唔多950尺啊！佢可以收工啦。個個都喺度睇嚟㗎。收晒皮啊！就嚟標完。 今朝咧就係大概7月3號大概9點半到啦，9點幾啦。因為
呢個 beehive 咧，佢標得仲高過好飛步，但係咧佢爆之前咧，佢周圍嗰啲會爆先嘅。佢周圍嗰啲爆完之後15分鐘咧，個 beehive 就爆。你頭先有聽佢講啊？
總之就唔知咩時間。
所以睇佢周圍嗰啲。
仲喺度標緊呢個歐菲夫街上。得返幾尺咁高嚟㗎。
It is, and we don't know for sure, but we think it might be because it's away. There's no other geysers on that side of the river. It's away. It's not affected by the other geysers here, so that might be why.
差唔多玩完啦，咪仲有幾尺。
Right. Right. So it's more of a perfect cycle than the imperfect cycle that we have going on here when one might affect it. But we don't know for sure. That's our kind of hypothesis. All right, so like I said, with depression geyser, after the earthquakes we've had here, it has erupted more frequently. The interval between eruptions has gotten shorter, and it's slowly gotten longer over time. And then in 1983, we had another earthquake whose epicenter was in central Idaho, and it got shorter again and got longer over time. So the cycles we see sometimes are affected by things we might not experience while we're here, but you might see depression geyser much more frequently if you visit after a large earthquake here in Yellowstone. Any questions about any things about Old Faithful or depression or earthquakes?
What's the temperature?
The temperature of this water is about 200 degrees Fahrenheit. When it erupts, it is above that temperature. Boiling point at our elevation, 7,300 feet, is about 199 degrees Fahrenheit. Boiling point at sea level is 212, what we learn about in school. That's why when you read brownie baking instructions, it says high altitude instructions on the bottom. It's because things boil at different temperatures up here, so we have to cook a little differently. And so that's what we have going on here. It's 200 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's right at boiling point. All right, let's continue up to Lion Geyser.
呢個就叫 Hot Spring。可以影㗎，呢個唔知咩。
前面個牌都有。
好鬼大嚿呢個。
Lion Geyser。
Lion Geyser
Group。唔知點解叫 group 嘅。
咁我喺度幫你。
逃緊出嚟啊！係聽唔聽到？聽到。
All right, this is the Lion Geyser group. The large cone on the right is Lion Geyser. Next to that is Big Cub. Next to that is Lioness. And the one on the far side that's cream-colored is Little Cub. Those are our four geysers, all named after Lion, the big one, because Lion, just before it erupts, will roar. That's the sound of the steam coming up through the cone. Lion Geyser does erupt several times a day, about 70 feet high, but it is unpredictable exactly when it would erupt. But Little Cub is also erupting, or erupts, but it only erupts little sprinkles that kind of very small, matches its name. The little water droplets makes that.
Goggle 啊，Goggle Geyser。你都未開過。
There's a round one here. Sometimes you see a round one.
What?
Huh? Certain extent.
真係烽煙四起啊！周圍都煙嘅呢度。
呢個係全世界最高 density 有呢啲 geyser 㗎啦。
有啲 geyser。
呢個
呢個小型嘅又喺度喐緊。煲緊水。ear
spring 耳仔咁啊。
係啩？噴緊啦嗰度。 因為噴緊風嘅淨係。
呢條 Peach 海灘 Peach Street。呢邊又蒲緊啦，冇咗，頭先蒲。
係，我見到。又有你啦。
And so, as I say to people, we're not over too. Geology doesn't. In a sense, yes. In a sense, yes.
煲水。
Individuals that are somewhere around 200,000, but just. No, I'm a geography. You guys can scoot down just a little bit. I don't want to yell right in your ears. We're looking here at Orem Geyser.
Orem Geyser.
Orem Geyser erupts several times a day as well, but we actually have a theory, one that we do not know about for sure, that it is actually affected by seasonal wetness in this marsh behind us. That is silica that's depositing there. That's what all this white stuff is. That's what the cone that made Lion Geyser is made of. We call it geyserite when it comes out of a geyser, but this rhyolite rock, this lava rock that the water moves through, has a lot of silica in it. That's that natural glass we talked about earlier. As the water cools off and those tiny water droplets are on the edge of a hot spring, that silica deposits back out. So that's what all this white stuff is essentially.
個拉人啲咩
？Lion Geyser group 啊嘛。
Lion Geyser group 喺度erupt。
It erupts a couple times a day. Once it has an initial eruption, it can erupt once an hour, and then break again.
哇！都噴得幾高喎。啱啱去棵樹隔離。
咁多水嘅喎。遮唔遮住你棵樹？呢度我都睇得好清楚啦。
我唔可以走去嗰度。
可以啊，好行啊，睇到。
Well, there's no geysers that actually erupted.
No, okay, Steve was Steve.
哇！噴得幾勁喎都。
Everybody keeps looking back. Orem always makes noises. Everybody keeps looking back. Orem is the Latin word for gold. And you see the coloration on the inside of the cone? That's from mineral.
哇！好犀利啊！
Better safe than sorry. Yeah, now we're in that steam. Remember I said we have that water and the steam's pushing it out of the cone? Well, it's got to get rid of the steam too.
呢度就冇帶啦。
好大聲啊咁啊，所以叫做 Lion Geyser。
係啊，影到就係冇帶啦。
No, beehive is taller than Old Faithful. This is about 70 feet high.
哇！好勁啊！呢個 Line Group。
Usually they all erupt for a few minutes only.
Some erupt very quickly. Anemone geyser, right, was only about 30 seconds. This one erupts for about 5 minutes. Castle geyser, which is the big cone steaming to the right, and far away we see all those people along that.
呢度就冇帶啦。
好大聲啊咁啊，所以叫做 Lion Geyser。
係 係影到就係冇打啦。
No, beehive is taller than Old Faithful. This is about 70 feet high.
哇，好勁啊！呢個 line group。
Usually they all erupt for a few minutes only.
Some erupt very quickly. An enemy geyser, right, was only about 30 seconds. This one erupts for about 5 minutes. Castle geyser, which is the big cone steaming to the right, far away where you see all those people